Hello. My name's Ambre Tandy, and you'll have to forgive me, I'm not used to speaking in front of a microphone at all. So. I was born and raised in a small town in Wisconsin, and that's where all my family still lives. I've only been in Texas for about a year and a half now. I went to college in Iowa, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Science, and my focus was on conservation management. After graduation, I moved to Tennessee because when I was in college, I'd done an internship at the Tennessee Aquarium, and I kind of loved Chattanooga and the warmer weather. But after a few years, I did find myself back home in Wisconsin, and eventually, make the long story a little shorter, the Lord called me to go back to school. After having been out of school for almost a decade by this point in time, I was pretty nervous to start the adventure. But I put my trust in the Lord and went to see an academic advisor. One of the local colleges in the area had been recently getting some publicity about a new master's program that they had recently started, and it was called Servant Leadership, and they were focused on teaching others to lead through serving others, just as Jesus did throughout his ministry. And I thought that sounded pretty interesting, and since I was in a management position at the time, I thought that there'd probably be some transferable skills that I could lead so I could rise up that corporate ladder. So I signed up for some classes. I only took a few classes, but following the call of God was like a catalyst for change, and my life started to quickly shift in a different direction. I was inspired to leave the stability of the desk job that I had to do something that was more suited to my personality. I was offered summer field work with the Department of Natural Resources, so I gladly traded cubicles and phones for the Mississippi River and airboats and sunshine. But it was only a seasonal position, so when fall started to approach, I found myself looking for employment. And this is where the Lord called me to take a leap of faith. And when I say leap, I really mean plunge. And he called me, kicking and screaming, I might add, to join the Navy. And the Navy, though, is really where I learned what it means to have a total and utter dependence on God. And he just proved to me time and time again that he was always with me. But a huge bonus to that call was that's where I met my husband. And we've been together for almost 5 years now, and we've been married for about just a little over a year of that now, and it's just been a blessing. But the Lord provided a good job for him here in Austin after we got out of the military, so I started looking for a school to finish what I had originally started. I learned of Austin Grad through the internet searches while I was still serving overseas, and when we finally got here and moved in and got settled in, I decided to come for a visit. It was summer, so unfortunately I didn't get to meet with any of the students, but Celeste still showed me around the campus, and I was able to talk with some of the faculty and staff. And everyone was just so friendly and so personable and welcoming. I really immediately felt a sense of belonging. And that feeling has carried through the past year that I've been attending school here. At Austin Graduate, we're not just numbers. We're not just warm bodies in the seats. There's really a sense of community and camaraderie. We've become a family that's been brought together to serve Christ. We all come from a wide variety of backgrounds. We're different ages. We all obviously have different personalities. We come from different cultures as well, but it really is that diversity which enriches and enhances the instruction through a sharing of the experiences. I look forward to every class, and not just for the lectures themselves, but for the opportunity to learn more from my classmates. The differences in experience means that they can provide feedback to the lectures and ask questions that I could never think of, and hopefully vice versa. And I think it allows for a more well-rounded view of the story of God. Since it is a smaller school, many of the students end up taking numerous classes together, and I think that creates a close-knit community. The first day of classes after semester break is almost like having a family reunion. But what I appreciate the most about this school is the solid biblical foundation that is taught. The Word of God isn't just taught from an intellectual or academic standpoint either. It's taught by example. The professors live out what they are teaching. And being taught from someone who has actually been in the pulpit or been involved in the mission fields, instead of having just read about it in books, that really adds an extra dimension of practical application that's just priceless. It never ceases to amaze me how much my mind has been opened up. Every class brings me to new insights that I never even knew was possible before. There really is no end to the learning process, and it really is a lifelong journey. As of this moment, I confess I do not know what I will be pursuing when I graduate, but I do know that God has a plan for me. The next step of that journey just has not yet been revealed. I have to trust that when the time is right, an opportunity will present itself, and all I can do while I'm here is learn the most I can, about as much as I possibly can, in order to prepare for whatever it is that may lie ahead. The things that I'm learning here now, though, can be transferred into any career path because I'm learning how to better live out a spiritual life in service to God. I'm building my treasures in heaven by dedicating this time to studying the Word of God, and I'm learning more about who He is and how He works. While I may not have all of the answers by any means, I do know that I am called to be here now, and I am called to be a part of this community. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out and being a part of this community with us today as well. And let me close by encouraging you all to come out and join us again for some more fellowship and food on Monday at our annual chili cook-off. And if you come early enough, you can join us for chapel. So thank you very much for the time today.